So today we're going to slaughter some chickens as reverentially and as quickly and as painlessly as we possibly can. We've got our first bird here, and she's got her feet tied so she can't escape from our killing cone. Okay, David, put her in. And we're going to put her into this, we call it a killing cone. It's just to immobilize her and keep the neck down so that she can bleed out. And the object is we want the bird to bleed out as completely as possible. That improves the quality of the meat, and it also dispatches the bird pretty quickly as well. So I'm going to very gently grab the bird's head like this, keeping my fingers out of the way. I'm going to make a cut right above the ear as quickly as I can. There we go. Within about 30 seconds usually the bird will pass out, and at that point it's another minute and a half or so before they're actually dead. At this point I generally prefer to leave the bird alone, let it die in peace and with a little dignity. Okay, so we have our slaughtered bird, and I'm going to put her now, I'm going to put in some hot water and scald her to get the feathers off more easily. We've heated this water up to 160 degrees. I'm going to hold her down completely for about 30 seconds. So she's going completely underwater, like that. What I'm doing is I want to pull out one of the big feathers. If it comes out fairly easily, then I'll know that it's been in the water long enough. I don't want to leave it longer than necessary because I don't want to cook the bird. There, it comes right out. Okay, ready for plucking. Okay. Yeah, so basically we're just going to get all the feathers off the bird and just throw in the bucket.
I thought it was going to be harder to pluck them out, but that water works well.
If the bird wasn't scalded, it would be a real pain. Yes. I have dry plucked the bird and it was not fun. It took me like an hour one time. Okay, so there's several very distinct steps you take when you're butchering a chicken. First thing I do is cut the head off. And then it's going on the top of the tail. Right here on the tail is a musk gland. We didn't get this one very cleaned off. Feathers were a little tough. So I'm going to cut right above the musk gland. I'm just cutting parallel to the tailbone here. And I cut that right off. That goes in the garbage. Okay, now we turn the bird over. I want to open up the throat area so I can get to the esophagus and the trachea. Loosen that up a bit. And that is the most important cut. I'm going to take my razor knife and I cut through the skin and I cut all the way around the vent. The idea is to take the whole mechanism out without opening up the intestines accidentally. Now we got out the intestines, now we're going to go for the internal organs. The first thing will be the liver. And this has got the gallbladder here, which we don't want to break. So I'm going to make a very careful cut on one side of the liver. And then I'll carefully cut this off. There. So that goes in the garbage. And the liver goes to the dogs. Or we could have chicken liver if we want. Right there. That's the heart, little tiny heart for this big bird. So now what we gotta do is we cut the legs off, bend it back here, cut right around it, same thing here, bend it back, and it cuts quite easily. What we do with our chickens is when they get to this stage, we get them all cleaned off, get all the rest of the pin feathers off, get them rinsed off, and we put them in the refrigerator for 3 days to let the meat relax. If we're going to freeze them, we'll put it in the freezer for 2 days, and then we'll defrost it, and then we can eat it. So you don't want to eat a brand new fresh chicken because it's going to go into rigor mortis and it gets really hard and tough. So if you want nice tender chicken, I recommend you rest it for at least 2 days and preferably 3.